Again, really quickly, can go up to 12-bit. At the moment I shoot 10-bit, 5.3K for wildlife and 4K for everything else because I've only got a DX lens. But you can shoot up to 12-bit RAW on Nikon RAW or N-Log specifically to give you more dynamic range, etc, etc. So that's really helpful and really wonderful. But again, haven't tested it. There's also a bunch of pro features that I have kind of written down that I think is going to be really useful for me, but haven't had a chance to test a lot of these. You have timecode, so you can sync multiple cameras with any timecode. Specifically, I can sync these two cameras through timecode. I'm not going to. I'm used to syncing with audio. If you have that need and you have that want, again, it's really great. Already talked about image stabilization, really powerful. Also got image stabilization, dual format recording. So what you can do is you can basically set either simultaneously to record a proxy file of it. Again, haven't tested it. Don't really need proxies that much in my workflow, especially when using efficient codecs like H.265. But the option's there if those who want to use it. Cool. Would have liked to see. Again, probably doesn't really fit in the brand or the mid-range which we're talking about in regards to this camera, but would have liked to have seen a mini QDX or excuse me a Pro audio solution. So this has a 3.5mm jack on it. Would have liked to have seen maybe an option like the Sonys have, where you can get a top handle with top grade audio, and obviously put in those QDX slots in that respect. But there will be workarounds, there will be things you can do, etc. I don't even own a microphone that can plug into it, but I thought I'd mention it. So all of my microphones will work on this camera, and to be honest, most of them, unless you're again not really targeting. Like, you wouldn't be buying this camera necessarily, you may be buying it as a B, but if you're looking for top cinema grade audio quality, etc., you would A, be running it into a recorder anyway because the preamps are going to be better, or B, you'd be running it into a higher end cinema camera where you're going to sync it in post anyway. So again, think about the use case for this camera. The use case for this camera, in my opinion, is for solo shooters, and Nikon also say on their website that it is for solo shooters, hence the 3.5mm jack in my thoughts. But it would have been nice to potentially have an upgrade to the larger or the more important or the more professional grade XT slots, or whatever they're called. Also, you've got little things like you can charge this camera through USB-C, so I can have a camera battery in the camera and then also run a V-Lock to constantly charge that battery, or basically run it off a V-Lock. 95% of the time I do that. Could also, again, in a office setup like this, run a USB-C cable from the wall and plug it directly in. So basically have a pseudo dummy battery. On the GH5, I have a dummy battery in that respect as well. But the issue, as I've said previously, when you're running it into a V-Lock, the V-Locks I have, the 100-watt one, sometimes the DTAP comes out, which if on this camera, it would basically kill the footage that was recording if it was writing to a card, because even unless you catch it early enough, it's going to be problematic. So the better solution is what this more modern camera has, which